Hycroft Mining has been getting spicy today, was up 35%, now sitting up 28.42%. Got the first leg up, flagged down, consolidated, and getting a second leg up. HYMC is looking beautiful, and I don't see it on any sort of particular news that has come out today or yesterday or the day before, but I believe it's in anticipation for their next earnings call on April 30th of 2024, anticipating that the earnings call may be pretty well. You may be seeing some shorts get out, or you may be seeing them hedge themselves. Either way, AMC holds a position in Hycroft Mining, and this is a good thing to see. Let me know in the comments down below if you are playing or have played Hycroft. Drop HYMC in the comments. What is going on, guys? Lottery Stocks here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if you're new. 7 meme stocks to sell in April before they crash and burn. And you guessed it. Number 1 is GameStop, and number 7 is coincidentally AMC. Before we get into today's video, all I'm going to ask you to do is please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It helps me out, and it's free. So without further ado, let's get into it. Investor Place dropping another BS article after yesterday they were telling you to basically exit AMC stock and that it is not your ticket to wealth. Now they are saying that GameStop, Rivian, Mara, Neo, I believe PSLY or something along the lines of that, and then AMC are 7 stocks that are going to crash and burn. And apparently that's going to come just after April. Now, somebody in the comments yesterday brought up a very good point. And it's that the earnings call on May 8th, 2024 may not be so hot. And Adam Aaron has told us that several times. So he's saying, Lottery Stocks, you think the low is going to be hit mid-April, but what about the early May earnings call? Isn't that going to be a negative catalyst? Aren't they going to take advantage of that? That is very true. I wanted to point one thing out. And I'm still sticking to what I have drawn out. I just want to put that out there that nothing is invalidated as to what I see based on the cycles, because some cycles can be accelerated, but we do have that catalyst that will potentially be negative. However, knowing that it may be negative may be a good thing coming into it. Okay, take that with a grain of salt. If we look previously at the cycle that we've been tracking with AMC, we're somewhere around here, at least where I thought, right before AMC hit this low. From the start of this cycle, right up here, to that very bottom was 319 days. If the same thing were to be the case, the very bottom would be 319 days, June 7th. That would be the very bottom for AMC. However, based on the touch points that we have and the patterns that we have, the cycle seems to be accelerated. Okay, so that is one thing that I just want to put out there because somebody brought up a good point in the comments about next earnings call being a potential negative catalyst for AMC. Now I want to touch on the numbers really quick because the Ortex short interest is now sitting stagnant for the first day after continuously rising, now sitting above 20%, sitting at 20.48% with almost 54 million shares shorted. Options chain, we're losing 1,500 calls compared to 16,000 puts expiring in the money and then 80,000 calls expiring out of the money. Premium going to market makers. Short exempt volume still semi-low but semi-high, right in that mid-range at 150,000. High for any given stock, but for AMC completely normal, right? GameStop, not much to say here. GameStop is testing the midline in the Bollinger Bands, and there's no telling when GameStop is going to be done with this blue cycle sell-off, but as soon as it starts getting a bounce, I think GameStop is going to have a nice, nasty little bounce before either playing through another cycle or getting that move higher. Just to show you, this is the previous blue cycle where it channel traded, right, and then sold off to the downside, and once this ended, it got this little pop, and I think the same thing is happening right now. Channel trading, sell off, and it's waiting to get that little pop. So just be aware on GameStop. I think calls, a month or two out wouldn't be a bad idea. Nothing I say is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Basically, no calls compared to 5,000 puts expiring in the money and then 40,000 calls expiring out of the money. Not looking good on the options chain. Short exempts died down to 10K for GameStop. Nvidia got a disgusting bounce right off of this major support level that it needed to hold, and now it is trading at 892.66. Watch Nvidia to potentially get rejected at 900 to potentially continue to move lower and make lower lows, right? As of right now, however, there is no indication or confirmation that we are in a bear trend. Now watch DJT as well for a potential bounce at this level because it's hitting crucial support level that touched down once, touched down twice, and now it is hitting it a third time, and every single time it had a very fast reversal. Not saying that it's going to happen, but you need to continue to watch this for a potential bounce play coming up to around 36.50 or just mooning higher. And Tesla, not much to say here. Tesla's actually holding up better than I anticipated for today, but we're still waiting for it to sell off even further and flash down. Tesla still doesn't have superior strength moving forward. Now, some things that are going to affect the overall market is war. US sees missile strikes on Israel by Iran or its proxies as imminent. That is right, Iran has told the White House that if the US defends Israel against its forthcoming retaliation for the Damascus strike, it will consider the US a viable target as well. War is not a good thing to see, not only for the market, but in general, right? It's evil. Also, PPI inflation. PPI inflation for March rises to 2.1 below expectations of 2.2, and core PPI inflation rises to 2.4 above expectations of 2.3. PPI and CPI inflation are now both up for 2 straight months for the first time since September of 2023. The Fed pivot is quickly disappearing, which means this is just another little side note, side tick that the Fed may have to get more hawkish, but the market is saying that it's not enough. I wanted to point out one thing. The previous little correction chop trade breakdown that we saw on the SPY was 2.71% to the downside right here from this little peak to this bottom wick. From this little peak to the bottom wick, the SPY has dropped 2.74%. This could be the end of the temporary choppy waters for the SPY. I just want to put that on your radar and let you be aware of that, as it's also holding support. If the SPY breaks below and has a weekly close under these levels, right, anywhere under 510, that wouldn't be a good signal going forward, at least temporarily, and the SPY may have a 5 to 10% correction, which would even be correlated to what Tom Lee said and anticipated, and have the SPY come down to these channels down here. Moving on to crypto, Asia is coming to the Bitcoin party. Hong Kong approving Bitcoin ETFs, South Korea will approve Bitcoin ETFs, Chinese fund managers launching Bitcoin ETFs. Remember, US Bitcoin ETFs pushed the price from 38K to 73K. The bull market is just getting started. Now take that with a grain of salt. It wasn't just the ETFs that pushed this thing from 30K to 70K. It was also in anticipation of the halving, and likely in anticipation of the halving. But it's definitely something to see. It's definitely part of the catalyst, because a lot more money would be flowing into Bitcoin, right? And a lot more people are bringing it up and engaging it. Now, Bitcoin broke out and came back down, retested the wedge, came back up to break out again, but failed. What else failed? Doge failed as well. You can see Dogecoin broke out, came back up to retest 20 cents resistance, and failed once again. As of right now, this is not a good thing to see for Bitcoin and Dogecoin, because they're making sort of this resistance right here. This is just a little flag pattern for Dogecoin. As long as it holds these levels, we could see a breakout at any point in the next week and a half. Shiba's flag pattern is looking beautiful, getting a perfect flag on Shiba, and it's coming right into the peak right now, which is going to line up perfectly with Dogecoin if SHIB continues to channel trade like this, chop trade sideways, right? About a week and a half before a breakout one way or the other. This is likely to break out to the upside, but it doesn't have to. So Dogecoin, SHIB, Bitcoin likely to make a move within a week and a half. SEC to file a lawsuit against Uniswap, issuing a Wells notice to the company. So they lost against Coinbase, Grayscale, and several others, and now they're going after Uniswap, the corrupt SEC. Finally, Coinbase has integrated Apple Pay for Bitcoin and crypto purchases in the UK. And I want to put this out there last. Vietnam sentences real estate tycoon to death in $12.5 billion fraud case. This is the difference between the US market. I'm not saying this is justified. I don't think the death penalty should even be a thing. But I just want to put that out there, that the market makers, the corrupt scumbags, the short sellers that are taking advantage of loopholes, even the SEC themselves, right? The corrupt government that don't give consequences. There's going to be karma eventually, right? It's going to catch up to you. Overall, guys, that is what I got for you for today's video. Make sure to get your free share of the Magnificent 7, Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, Nvidia, Amazon, Google, using my link to open a Moomoo account and making a deposit into their broker. I also want to point out that it is crucial earnings season. Bank earnings are coming up, and the #1 platform to use for earnings, for the tools, for the notifications, for the customizable earnings calendar is Moomoo. Beyond the benefits that you get by going through my link, it's an insanely good platform to use for that case. So make sure to help yourself out, make some money, and level yourself up. That link is in the top of the description and pinned in the top of comments. You're also getting level 2 order book data for free, access to trading options, going long, going short, and more as a retail trader. Again, use my link, open an account, and make a deposit of even $1. Now also join the Discord where we talk stocks and crypto. We have options trading alerts. You can come talk with me, request videos, post your gains, post your losses, and more. Overall, best Discord for the price. Grandfathered in, so you will never be paying more than the price that you get in at. Link is also in the description and pinned in the top of comments. Love you all. Lottery Stocks out.